Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series, Factory Town. So where we left off last time is we have a few production buildings up and going, and of course some basic production as we're gathering wood from trees and grain over here that's now being taken to the grain mill, and of course we've got stone that is being taken back to our base. So we're now at level 2 base, and we have plenty of room for additional houses and additional workers. So we're only at half of our worker capacity, and we really need to upgrade a few things around the map. So first of all, you notice this worker, while he was very busy at the very beginning, he's now spending a lot of time idle. And the reason for that is, if we click on the grain mill, you'll notice that we need 3 in order to make 1 bag of flour. So this one worker is having a hard time keeping up. So what we need to do is get him some help. So now I'm going to use the hot bar to spawn in another couple of workers. And let's get these guys selected, and we're going to have them work on grain. So now that is going to make production much faster and keep this guy much busier over the long term. Okay, and of course that is also going to upgrade our income potential, because now we're going to be getting those 5 coins much more often. All right, let's click off of the upgrade base goal. Now we need to build a food market. Now the food market is really important for us because it's going to automatically distribute the food that we're creating to the houses, and that is a huge deal for us because that's going to save us some time and some workers. Okay, so let's come in under buildings, and we want the food market. You can see we need 20 yellow coins, 10 stone, and 10 planks. We have no problem with that. And for right now, again, we're not going to worry about maximizing efficiency. So what I'm going to do is actually put it right here is good. And we'll make sure that within that sphere of influence, we'll have our housing. And right now I plan on keeping the housing more or less in this area. So this location should work out just fine. There we go. And now you see that our worker, rather than delivering directly to these houses, he's going to take the items over to the food market, and then the houses will buy directly from the food market. So in this case, it's not such a huge deal since we were right here in very close proximity, but in the longer term, it can really help things out, particularly as we expand out into this direction, you know, on the north end of the map and so on. Okay, we've done the market. What's next? It wants us to build a workshop, and the workshop is going to be important going forward because it's going to enable us to start working with some conveyor belts and other things that we can make with wood wheels, such as an additional way of transporting goods and services rather than just simply having the workers take them manually. But one of the things I want to do right quick is I want to, let's click here. You see that the output is on this side. What I want to do is, even though we don't really need it, I want to actually have some wood coming in. Let's see, this guy is for the output. He's taking and picking that up. This particular worker is actually taking the wood over there. So what we're going to want to do is I'm going to move him over here because I want to use the chutes. Again, not necessary from an efficiency point of view, but right now I just want to have a little fun with the chute system. All right, so I think what we're going to do is let's put our first chute over here. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see all of these markers for inputs. Let's go ahead and put our chutes out, and the R key rotates. There we go. So now what I want to do, just to have a bit of fun, let's go ahead and pause this for a second so I can select this guy. And I'm going to have him work on this tree right in front of the chute, and let's see what happens. Okay, he's going to work on it there, and then he's going to put that log on the chute, which rolls it straight in. Now what that's going to enable me to do is increase our efficiency by adding more workers over in this area, and we're going to keep this guy busier. So let's go ahead and spawn in another worker. There we go. We still have plenty of room left for workers. I'm going to have this guy work on the tree on the other side. All right, not bad. This worker was actually going around the world to get to where he needed to be there, but I think he was just moving out of the way for our new worker to gain access. Excellent. This is pretty good. Now, I could put additional chute right here, so these guys wouldn't even have to move, but I need to leave some room for them to maneuver because they can't walk through or over the chutes. So I need to make sure I leave some room for them to work their way around. They could walk through the forest over here. That is certainly an option. But right now, we are in good shape. All right, I think I like what we're doing with the planks right now. Our production is looking good. Okay, we got our first opportunity to use the chutes, so that is always a good thing. So now let's look at building that workshop. So let's go back into the build menu, which is the B key, or we can choose the build menu in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Buildings. Now we need a workshop. We've got a grain mill, we've got a lumber mill, we've got a food market, we've got several houses at this point. Now we need a workshop. So we can assemble some additional products. And I think, let's just go ahead and put this guy, let's put him about right here. There we go. Now we've unlocked 3 additional items: the fence, half stairs, as well as a wagon. Now, of course, the half stairs are going to be good for uneven terrain, which we don't have very much of on this particular map, or at least not severe cases of it. But the wagon is going to be very useful as our next means of transportation. Instead of having workers manually do it, they can simply drive the wagon back and forth. Okay, so we've got our workshop. Let's see what we're going to begin working on. Again, workers number 1, which is 100% speed. We could add more workers to increase that speed, but for right now, 100% is certainly fine. And to start off, you can see there are a lot of recipes, and you can imagine all of the ways we're going to be using this particular building going forward. Now, we can select multiple items if you want to, and it will simply move back and forth between creating the different items that you select. Right now, what we really need are the wood wheels. So we're going to select that. And what do we need for the wood wheels? You notice that we need 2 planks. And then within 5 seconds, we'll have a wood wheel. So now we need to spawn in another worker. And we'll spawn in that worker. We'll put him over here out of the way. These guys moving around. And what we're going to want this guy to do is we're going to want him to bring in planks. So you can see he runs over here to the storage, grabs the planks, and we're in good shape. Okay, he needs 2 planks in order to get the job done. So that is perfectly fine. All right, so what we'll do now is, let's get back off of that. Now we need something to do with the wheels. Well, for that, we need another worker. Okay, it's about time. Well, we have room for 4 more workers, so it's about time to start working with these houses again. Perhaps build a few more houses. Okay, now we're going to, let's see. Let's click off of that, oops, for just a moment. And let's see what this guy is going to do. Yeah, he's going to take that. You can see he's going to take the wheel over to the house and sell it. Now, that would make us some good money, but it's not really what I'm interested in right now. Instead, I want him to take it right over there. Let's see. Nope, that didn't trigger him. Yep, this is one of those times where it's just not quite working out the way I want it to. All right, let's get our guy and move him back over here out of the way so that I can see which one is him in the sea of all these other guys that are moving around. Well, let's see. We want him to take... Nope, we don't want to do that. So it looks like we're going to have to spend a little time getting this guy, because I don't want him to deliver those over there. I want him to deliver it to the base. And it just does not want that to work. You can see it does not want... Not bad. We're going to have some difficulty here. You can see we don't have an option there to choose. I can have him go there, but he's just going to walk over there. All right, so we're going to have to figure this out. For right now, let's just have him sell those, and you can see he's going to sell them to each of the houses, and that seems all well and good. But what we're going to actually want to do long term is we're going to want these to head over to the storage. So I tell you, one of the things I want to do is create a footpath to make sure these guys have additional ways of getting around town before I put down more houses. And let's actually come back into the build menu and see if there's a different way that we can go about this. Under paths, we're not quite ready for the road. All right, so we're not ready for the road. Under workers, we can do wagon, but of course, then we're going to need to take care of the wheels. So this is going to be very, very interesting. So I'm going to pause the video right here and see if I can't work out how we're going to get these wagon wheels over to the base instead of these houses. All right, I think I have it finally straightened out, and boy, that took a little bit more time than I wanted it to. Again, it's very fickle. You have to right click and hold and go from, once you have your worker highlighted, you have to go from where the item is being created, whether it's a resource or a workshop, and hold down right click while you drag over. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't wanting to work. I finally got it to work doing exactly that, but hopefully that doesn't happen too terribly much in the future. Now, another thing that I have, as we're getting started out, I figured out we probably needed to double up on these roads. So I think I'm going to do just that. As we get more and more traffic on these roads, I think that's going to be helpful. So now I'm wishing that I would have done that in through here. In fact, let's go ahead and do about the best job we can do at this particular point with this, but we'll try to make it happen the best we can. So now we have 17 wheels. If you look in the inventory, top right-hand corner, we have 17 wood wheels because I'm anxious to use a wagon. So now let's come back under, not paths, workers, and we want a wagon. We need 4 wheels for that, obviously. 10 planks, 40 coins, and room for a worker. We have just that. We're going to spawn him right here. And what we want this guy to do is we want him to deliver those wheels back and forth. And you can see he can do that. He can do that much more efficiently. All right, so it looks like, let's keep an eye on this wagon and see if they can move. Okay, they can move around or through him. Okay, so now this worker, we don't need anymore. We'll bring him over here out of the way. He was the one we were using to deliver the wheels previously. So now what we need is we need to figure out how to increase the production of our planks so that we can then do a better job of keeping this wagon going. Because you can see he can carry more than a standard worker can. And for right now, he's just going on the regular dirt street. So he's not getting a speed boost. So in the future, we'll be wanting to give him a speed boost on a stone road. All right, but for right now, we need to, we're going to take this guy and he is going to chop trees over there. That's going to help out with our production of wood which will then help out with the output, which for right now, I'm watching the top right-hand corner in the output. You notice that under the output, we don't keep anything there for very long. So it looks like we are in good shape as far as making sure we get the output taken care of as quickly as possible. Now let's take a moment and just enjoy watching this wagon move around. Okay, so it looks like our congestion on the streets isn't too big of an issue. You notice that these particular workers do walk around each other, but it doesn't seem like the wagon really gets in their way at all. So we might just get by with our single wide area for the time being. All right, planks still doing good. Of course, ultimately, that is going to be the way we want to go in the future, is more automation. All right, so now let's take a look at our food. And you can see right now, this guy isn't quite as busy as I would like him. Basically, I want him to just be hopping all the time back and forth. That's what we want. So let's get some more workers and see if we can help him out with that problem. And we're going to use our remaining workers, and we're going to take these guys and have them work. Well, if I can select them, there we go. All right, there we go. Now let's watch our worker and see if over time he has a lot more work to do than what he's been doing. Okay, another thing we're going to want to do is expand more on our lumber mill production. Now we've got plenty of wood itself being directly sent into the base, so that's not a problem. We don't need to expand that. You can see this guy is he is doing everything in his power to make this happen. And there we go. He's used up all of those resources. Now let's see what he does. He's going to pick a new area. So we are deforesting the area very quickly. The good news is we've got a lot around here. And as we mouse over each one of the trees in the top right-hand corner, you can see just how much wood is contained there. So this is going to present some issues going forward. All right, now we need to get back to sort of what they wanted us to be doing at this particular point, which is to build a barn. Now this is going to be more storage. This is an expansion of our storage, not just in the sheer number of items we can store, but also the location. So it'll make a shorter location and shorter walk for some of these guys. So let's go ahead under the build menu, select buildings, and let's find, all right, where is this guy? There he is. The barn requires 30 yellow coins. We certainly have that. We've got plenty of stone, and we've also got the planks. All right, so where do we want this guy to be? I want to give it a little bit of distance, so probably right out in here somewhere. So we've got, in fact, let's put it right over here. There we go. So that'll spread these out a little bit. And it's all part of our shared inventory, so it's not a big deal which one they take it to, just whichever one is best for them. So now we need a stonemason. The stonemason will take stone, create bricks, which we can then use for roads. So that is going to be very important for us. We certainly want to do that so that we can move quicker on the road, especially for our carts. All right, so let's get our stonemason. Oh, we need more population. Well, that means it's time for some more houses. All right, so we'll go ahead and plop down 4 of these. And now that gives us access to 8 more workers. All right, let's get build menu back again. And let's do a stonemason. And we're going to have him in close proximity to this stone right here. Let's see, that doesn't seem to line up right, does it? All right, we'll put him right there. And now we've unlocked our first road, as well as stone walls, ramps, bridges, and so on. So a lot of stuff to use going forward. As always, a production building, we need to click on it and select a recipe. Now you notice that instead of one worker equaling 100%, now it equals 110. And the reason for that is our happiness bonus. We're currently getting a 10% happiness bonus because we are at 11. So let's select a recipe, and right now we just want stone brick. Okay, so now we've got a worker who is now going to take, let's see, we've got 2 workers. Let's go ahead and have this guy drop off some stone over here to the barn. We'll have him do that. And then we'll have this worker. He will supply the stonemason with stone. So now you can see this other worker is going to come back over here. He's going to start using this barn. And now you can see our worker. This is pretty interesting here. He is going to try to empty this out. So he did a lot of that. Now he's going to go back over here and actually start to mine some of that. But what he did was he basically got an initial supply over here so that we could start creating some of this. Okay, so we've built our stonemason. Excellent. Upgrade our base again. All right, he wants us to do that, but there's something else I want to do real quick, and that is I want to get our first road going. Okay, it allows fast wagon movement, not necessarily the workers, but the wagons. But for that, we need stone bricks before we can create a road. Well, just for the fun of it, even though we don't actually need this and it will be much more expensive, we're going to have some fun. We're going to use a wagon here instead of a worker. So we're going to put that wagon right here. And we need him on the front end up here. So we're going to have the wagon do our delivering. So you can see that, again, this is very simple to do, and we didn't need a wagon for it, but it's more fun for me to use the wagon at this point. And now we're going to start building out some roads. Now that we're starting to get some stone bricks in here, this is going to be much more effective. But for right now, let's spawn in a couple more workers. And we're going to actually have these guys. And see, it works fine when I'm going to the resources. I can right click, hold that down, and drag over to the stonemason. It works great there, but going from production building to storage or production building to production building has been a little bit tricky for me, as we've already seen on multiple occasions. So now we've got, okay, these 2 guys are trying to use the same one. There's no reason for that. So I'm just going to change that so these guys can go to their own separate areas and just mine some stone until that stone is all gone, which is going to take a little while. But then once it's all gone, they will find a different area. Let's see how our deforestation is going over here. Looks like it's time for some more chutes. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, is that downhill? Because it kind of looks like it. It must be, because these guys are all using this this area. So interesting that they would need to do that. Let's go ahead and let's try this. And we're going to try to do it something like that. And like that. And for whatever reason, okay, maybe, wow, this is going to be, Yep, it's trying to roll the wrong way. I'm not sure if that's a terrain thing or what. Let's actually try to zoom in on here on this terrain and get a better look at this. Maybe it is. I can't really tell that it is. I mean, over here you can see some of this terrain is certainly going that direction, but I can't really tell. All right, so we'll leave that as is for now. Looks like we might need to actually extend it out into here going forward, put another one right over there. In fact, let's just go ahead and get that started. There we go. Let's see if these guys start to use that. Well, it looks like they're not going to. There we go. Let's change him up a little bit and see if that makes him start to use this one. And indeed it does. All right, so everything's rolling the right direction for now. We'll come back to this other. Maybe we can use some ramps or something along those lines to do that. But for right now, we need to come back and upgrade our base. You can see that we needed 8 happiness, no problem there. Stone bricks, no problem, as well as the other. So now we can build some more houses. All right, I will certainly take that. And we've got a nice production going of wagon wheels. We've got 87 of those. Very nice. We can make some more wagons. Even though this one is never having to move. But we like it nonetheless. Okay, we've upgraded our base. What does it want us to do now? It wants us to build a general store. Now, a general store will automatically sell planks, stone, and bricks, along with other items, and basically do the same thing that our food market does, but for different items. So let's see what we need to do for it. Let's go down to, did I miss it? Yes, I did. There it is. We need 100 coins. Again, we're well over 1,000 coins now, so that's not a problem. All right, again, our sphere of influence. For all of our production, let's see, I think I want to put it like right here. That's pretty good. I'm not sure it's optimal, quite frankly, but I think we will be just fine. So we built our general store. All right, let's take a look just to make sure. Of course, we've already gotten this part done. Select any market to see which, of course, it's still talking about markets, to see which specific items it can accept. In that case, if we do that, you can see in the top right-hand corner, there's your inventory of things that it can accept and therefore sell. General store, same thing. It can accept planks, stone bricks, iron plates, which are made by a forge. We're not quite there yet, but you can see we've got some iron ore over here. We've got coal. We got lots of things, quite frankly. And then we got some clothing items, cloth, and so on as we move on down the road. So now let's see what we want to actually take out here to be sold. We could sell some stone bricks if we set up maybe another one of our stonemasons. That would give us some more money, which is not a huge deal right now. But we'll just have to see. We've built the general store, and we'll just see how we want to use this as time goes on. Because right now, all of these items, such as the wood wheels, the stone bricks, and the planks, we're actually using them in production buildings rather than selling them directly to these houses. So we'll come back to that. I noticed up here at the top that our production is going so well that we are actually backing up, and that is because our output needs to be adjusted. Well, for that, we could use a worker. But actually, we're going to use that worker, and we're going to have him come over here, and what appears to add to the problem, but in actuality, what we're going to do is we're going to come in and create another worker, but this time it's going to be a wagon, and we're going to want this wagon. Yep, there we go. Now it's being a little tricky again. All right, so we want it to take this over to there. So I have to make sure I get it right on the right spot. And now you can see he's going to empty out some planks. And he can carry, instead of 1, he can carry 4. So this is going to help improve our production quite a bit. So we're going to give this guy a few minutes and see if this wagon can actually really improve things. For right now, we're still backed up, but that's okay. Let's see if maybe we can help this out a little bit with a road. Let's go ahead and drop a path down through here. And you can see this guy moves a lot quicker like that. So this should help improve our backup. But as always, we shall see. In the meantime, I want to go back and deal with these chutes. Just, let's see if I do that. Nope, it wants to go that way. Wow, that is, for the moment, mind-boggling to me because I can't see that that's the direction that it wants to go. There's a slight, maybe, slight increase in the terrain height as we approach the water, but it's very slight as best I can tell. All right, at this point, let's also go under structural blocks. Now, we haven't looked at any of these. We'll just sort of mouse over these and get rid of these alarm signs. We want to do bridges. Now, I'm not going to do stone bridges, I don't think. Let's see what we need there. Stone bricks. Yeah, I don't want to use stone bricks for that. I want to use wood bridge because we can use our planks for that. And I'm actually going to, let's see, let's do one. I'm going to create one here. You can see we got to fill this up. We could use some different blocks there. I think that should be sufficient to get across. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. There we go. I think that will suffice as another bridge, and then I'm going to drop another one. Well, we're running a little bit low on planks, so I'm going to hold off on that. But I think that will work. If not, I will add a ramp over here, and that should do it. But for right now, I mean, you can see over here we got some herbs. We've got cotton over here. More herbs, of course, grain, stone, iron ore, stone there as well, and of course a whole bunch of trees. Okay, so a lot going on in that area. And let's see what else is going on over here. Have we solved our input crisis? It does appear as though we have. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to go ahead and add another worker in here, speed them up. Actually, I'm going to add 2 more workers in here and speed things up on the production side. We're now at 160%. And again, the good thing is this wagon, he's holding 2 right now. He can go up to 4. So we should be in good shape. Now these guys can work along at a very high rate of efficiency and be in good shape. Okay, this guy is, for some reason, selling grain straight to the houses. I don't want him to do that. I want to take him to take it to the grain mill. We certainly don't need the income right now from it. We have quite a bit of money. All right, there we go. Again, our apple trees. Now, this guy is still selling direct to the market, so he is in good shape. I think I want to keep that going the way it is for now. All right, let's take a look and see what else we've got in the immediate area as we start to wind down today's video. All right, what else? In fact, let's see what kind of herbs we can put. I'm anxious to get into the herbs do we have anything we can do with that in here? We can't sell them directly. Harvesting fish. We can harvest some fish. That'll be nice. We'll get to that. A protein shake. There you go. You gotta love that. Most of these, a lot of these are coming from kitchens, pastures, and so on, which we're not quite ready for that stuff yet. So unless I'm missing something, yeah, we're gonna need to get a little bit farther. And the way we're gonna get there is we're gonna need, well, for one thing, we're gonna need some red coins as this stipulates, but we're gonna wait until our next video to do that. That's going to do it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as our gameplay continues for Factory Town.